want to talk today about one aspect of American and European society that still has some integrity, and that deals with the game of golf, believe it or not. I used to be a very good golfer. I was a scratch golfer at Duke University. Occasionally I play again. I didn't play for 35 years. But I'll tell you something. Golf is something that has kept honesty alive. You know, one of the things that's true in golf is that when you commit a penalty, you call it on yourselves. Recently, a golfer, Patrick Reed, tried to improve his lie in a sand trap and was caught doing it. And the golf world jumped down on him, condemned him. You know, I've joked because I no longer watch Fox News at any great extent. I turn on the Golf Channel. At least there's more truth to it. The other thing about golf is that when I hit a good shot, when I get a chance to play, which is not frequent, at least I get credit for it. And when there's a bad shot, it's my fault, as opposed to going into court with a federal judge where they do what they want, no matter how good your argument is, right, left, or center. But golf is something that has maintained its gentlemanliness, its integrity, its respect for fellow golfers as a general rule. And when someone steps out of line like Patrick Reed, they get called out. And most recently, there's a suggestion for a new golf league as opposed to the PGA and the USGA, and that's the Premier Golf League. And I have to commend an Irish golfer who's now living in the United States in my home state of Florida, Rory McIlroy, for calling that out. And you know why he won't participate in that? And says he doesn't even want that to exist in competition because the money's coming from Saudi Arabia. And obviously we don't want to corrupt this game of golf with money from what is in effect a terrorist state. Make no mistake about it. The Saudis are two-faced terrorists. They promote Wahhabi Muslimism. They promote honor killing if your child will not be raised as a Muslim if you happen to come from a Muslim family. Behind the scenes, they're paying money so their heads aren't lopped off by Al-Qaeda and ISIS. This is an evil bunch. And to let them into the game of golf to corrupt it would be a big mistake. Already on the European Tour, just this week, the tournament's being played in Qatar, or Qatar, however you want to pronounce it. Qatar is very supportive of ISIS, not coincidentally. And, you know, we don't want to become like the Europeans. You know, I'm a Europhile. I speak French. I speak Italian. I majored in European politics at Duke University. But I'll tell you something. Europe has a whorish side to it. And they're very much motivated by money. And for these golfers to go to these places is unbelievable. Recently, Tiger Woods refused to go to Saudi Arabia for an event. I commend Tiger for doing that. We cannot let these people in to our country in any major way, and in particular the game of golf. You know, I contrast this also with my alma mater, Duke University. I've been very critical of it for participating in the one and done aspect of college basketball. It's been destroyed. These players, whether it's for Duke or Stanford or for any school, don't really represent the student body anymore, by and large. They represent themselves. They're there for 1 year. They jump to the NBA. It's no wonder that Duke's losing games right and left, you know, with an all-star team, because they don't really care about Duke. They care about themselves. They're not going to be there more than a year. And if you go to Duke, I remember when I went there, you know, the basketball players the first year were on the junior varsity so they could adapt to academics. They weren't all of a sudden thrust into the prime time. And it's sports, basically, in many ways, like the arts, which defines our country. And if we can keep that pure, if we can keep the game of golf the way it is, with the gentlemanliness, with the fact that you call yourself out if you've committed some kind of penalty, if we can restore that to sports, and we can use Hollywood and the arts to try to teach the American people ethics and morality and respect for the law and respect for everybody else, we'll be a lot better in this country. Because you know what? We're not going to get it on Capitol Hill with these clowns that are up there. We're not going to get it in the executive branch of government with the deep state. We're not going to get it in the legislative branch, and we're certainly not going to get it in the federal judiciary, who just yesterday, a judge in Washington, D.C., made another ruling, an Obama appointee, that was completely outrageous, actually a Clinton appointee, I might add, with regard to various issues. I don't need to get into that on this show. But see, the game of golf has remained relatively pure. We need to clean up basketball. We need to clean up baseball with the steroids and everything else, and use that as an example for our youth as to what this country should all be about. So this is a little bit different in terms of a podcast today, because I'm not on the usual cast of characters, the usual criminals that we have to deal with in government. But let's use sports and let's use the game of golf as an example to make America great again. That's my message for today. You can find this on freedomwatchusa.org, on iTunes, on Spotify, on Patreon, on Facebook, on Twitter. Share this, contribute to our cause, sign up for these podcasts, listen to my weekly radio show, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. And until Monday, we'll have another podcast. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America, and God save America. And thank you for listening to me.
Here's the thing about new Cherry Vanilla Coke. Though cherry's named first, all the flavors taste just as great. I mean, it could have just as easily been Vanilla Cherry Coke, or it could have been Coke Cherry Vanilla. And since it's two amazing flavors of Coke, it might have been Coke Vanilla Cherry Coke or Cherry Vanilla Coke Coke. Unless you're in France, which would make it Le Coke de la Vanilla de la Cherry de la Crème. New Cherry Vanilla Coke, so good together. And new Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero Sugar, same great taste, zero sugar. Great taste.